What's up guys, my name's Eduardo, and in today's video I'm talking about Grease the Groove, one of my favorite strength training methods, and it was popularized by Pavel. Now in this method you're pretty much doing the opposite of traditional strength training, where we are increasing frequency and decreasing intensity. And I know you might be thinking that sounds backwards, and that's because it is. However, it's helped a lot of people, including myself. I've been able to unlock pretty cool skills like the straddle planche, one arm chin up, and hollow back press following this structure. To fully understand the idea behind Grease the Groove, we have to understand the difference between hardware and software, right? In a very basic sense. My phone is hardware, I can touch it, it's a tangible. The stuff inside my phone, apps, files, whatever, let's call that software, and we can't touch it, so it's an intangible. In regards to the fitness setting, when I go out to the weight room and the goal is to get stronger or bigger, I'm lifting a certain amount of weight and doing a certain amount of reps and sets so that the goal is to break my muscles down in order to build back up, therefore improving my hardware. In this case, the human body is hardware. Now I think calluses make an even better example of how we upgrade our hardware through the process of adaptation. Let's say I go out and buy a guitar and I start practicing a few notes. At first, my fingertips are gonna hurt like hell because the strings on the guitar are pretty rough. And if I'm repeatedly touching the strings, it's gonna gnaw at my fingers a little bit. But after I do that a few times, I'm gonna start developing calluses on my fingertips. And that's because my body's adapting to that stressor, making me a lot more capable of playing the guitar. However, because I've developed the calluses on my fingertips and I'm much more physically capable of playing a song on the guitar, does that mean I can actually play a song on the guitar? And the answer is it depends how much practice time I've put into it. I might have developed the calluses on my fingertips, but I might not have developed the muscle memory. My brain is responsible for telling my body what to do, more specifically my hands. And it tells my hands specifically what fingers to use and how to use them and when to use them and at what rate for me to play a song. And if I get one of these little components wrong, then I've messed up the song, at least for that brief second. So this relationship between my brain and my body and the muscle memory developed from practice is the software. It's the intangible. It's the stuff that we cannot touch. However, it still contributes to results and performance. So imagine there's a series of strings connected from your brain to the rest of your body. And let's call them neurological pathways. And when we do an action, the connection between your brain and your body gets stronger. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, good habit, bad habit, it doesn't matter. The connection will strengthen the more you do of something. And so this is the software aspect of it. So going back to playing the guitar, the more I play the guitar a specific way, the more my body remembers this, and the neurological pathways, the connection from my brain and my hands, get a lot stronger, and it becomes muscle memory or second nature. And this is pretty much the essence of Grease the Groove. So Grease the Groove is not about upgrading your hardware like in most strength training methods. It's more about upgrading your software as if it was a skill, just like playing the guitar. How do you get better at playing the guitar? Well, you play a lot. How do you get better at tennis? Well, you play a lot. How do you get better at basketball? You play a lot. How do you get better at strength training? You practice a lot. And so it doesn't matter whether it's planche, one arm chin up, or deadlifting, you want to practice a lot to improve your mind-body connection. Now your body could only handle so much before it starts to overtrain. So you want to apply Grease the Groove as if you would a deload. Now if you're unfamiliar with what deloading is, it's pretty much half the reps, half the sets, or half the weight that you would normally use. Now the benefit of this is that you could do a little bit each day throughout the day. So your rest periods are way larger than you normally would in a regular strength training session, where you dedicate only 1 hour to your workout. With Grease the Groove, you dedicate 24 hours to your workout. For example, I'm currently using Grease the Groove to improve my grip strength while using grippers. So these are grippers, and a few weeks ago I tested my max, and I could not close this blue one, which was 150 pounds. So I tested my max reps for both of these, which a few weeks ago I was able to do 8 of these, and I was able to do 2 of these. So what I've been doing was I was doing half the reps for each one, each day, throughout the day. So in the morning, I would do 4 reps, opening and closing the pink one. Then at night, I would do 1 rep, opening and closing the gray. After a couple weeks, I added 1 more rep to each one. So in the morning, I was doing 5 with this one. Keep in mind, my max reps before was 8. So I'm only working within 50% of my ability level, half the reps. A few weeks ago, I was able to do 2. So I've been doing 1. And then I increased that to 2 reps. Before, I could not close this blue one. But after Grease the Groove, oh, you can't see it, I'm closing it. Okay, that's my left hand. A few weeks ago, I wasn't able to close it. As you can see, now I can close it just fine. In regards to this specific strategy, it has worked out very well. So because I did a little bit each day throughout the day with very long rest periods, I was never sore, but I was able to accumulate so much volume throughout the week that I was able to improve my performance using the grippers. And the cool thing is you can use Grease the Groove for whatever exercise or skill that you're working towards. For example, if you want to play the guitar, you can apply Grease the Groove. If you want to get better at a free throw, you can apply Grease the Groove. You can use Grease the Groove for handstands, straddle planche, or one-arm chin-ups. It doesn't even matter if it's weighted, you can use Grease the Groove for deadlifts. The important thing to understand here is that Grease the Groove is not your traditional workout. We're not working on aesthetics here, we're not working on upgrading your hardware, and we're definitely not trying to get sore. We're trying to improve your software, your mind-body connection, neurological pathways, nervous system, whatever you want to call it. We're trying to improve the intangible so that you improve your performance. And we do that by increasing your frequency. And because we're increasing our frequency, we have to decrease something else. Whether it's the reps, the sets, or the weight, we have to decrease it by half. So in the gripper example, I was able to do 8 reps at the very beginning with these, so I ended up doing 4 reps in my training, and I did that every single day. And I pretty much did the exact same thing with my straddle planche, except because the straddle planche was timed, I did half the time I was normally capable of. Now, I couldn't straddle planche, so I couldn't do half the time I was straddle planche. So instead, I did the hardest progression that I could do and did half the time on that in the morning. And then at night, I did an easier progression and did half the time that I normally could with that easier progression. However, for my one-arm chin-up and my hollow back press, it was different. With the one-arm chin-up, I was able to pull about 90 degrees all the way up. So if I started at 90 degrees, I could pull my body all the way up and do a full negative. So that's where I started, but I only did 1 rep each day, most days of the week. So you can play around with these different variables however you want, but the goal is to increase frequency so that you increase volume. But to avoid injury, you have to decrease something else. If any of that was super confusing, here's a very easy way to remember how to apply Grease the Groove. You perform 3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 days of the week at 50% of your ability level. So if you're trying to improve your pull-up numbers, and you can do 10 right now, you're going to do 3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 days of the week of 50% of your rep count, which would be 5. So you're going to do 3 to 5 sets of 5 reps, 3 to 5 days of the week. If you want to improve your planche progressions, and let's say you could do a tuck planche for 10 seconds, you're going to tuck planche 3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 days of the week for 5 seconds. And then you play this by ear. Remember, we're trying to avoid soreness. So if you're ever sore one day, take a few days rest and then restart. You might have to reduce the amount of volume that you do at first and then gradually increase that so that your body adapts to it and you're not sore. Because if you're sore, it defeats the whole purpose here. You're trying to build a mind-body connection and you're not working out. And you do that by building a lot of frequency, so you have to decrease something else. All right, guys, just for giggles, let's try to set a new max with my grippers here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, all right. 12, not bad. Big improvement for sure. Grease the Groove is one of my favorite strength training methods to improve a specific skill that I'm working towards. And so far, 4 out of 4, it has worked, and it's been working very well with the grippers, more specifically with the rep count, because the rep count with the gray was much easier than the single rep that I did with the blue. However, I did this and I wasn't able to do this a few weeks ago. So there you have it, guys. That is Grease the Groove in a nutshell. If you have any questions or concerns about that, please let me know. And if you like the content, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to watch more videos like this one. Until next time.